So, you know, what we understand so far, we understand JavaScript. JavaScript is used client side, server side.
Client side.
Inside. It can be used in server side too, right?
Server.
JavaScript is a scripting programming language. You can use client side, you can use server side also, right? So if you want to use server side, you can use Node.js.
Node.js.
Clear? So JavaScript already we talked about certain benefit of it. Again, I want to talk about it. First benefit is it is type scripting language. Type scripting means you can write small code into it, right? It makes your HTML page dynamic. You can use client side validation. Nobody talked about, right? You can use Ajax, right? Ajax is a technique where you can refresh a certain portion of the page without refreshing whole page. Then on the basis of JavaScript, Jquery library is there. Jquery is nothing. It's just simple library on JavaScript. In JavaScript, whatever you can do by writing a couple of lines. For example, if you want to implement Ajax in JavaScript, you have to write at least 10 to 15 lines of code. But in Jquery, how many lines you have to write? Only one line of code you can write. So Jquery is nothing. Internally, it uses JavaScript. Make sense? TypeScript already we talked about. TypeScript has a lot of benefit, right? Like when you can design the interface, you can design the class, you can design the constructor. Are you following me? You can define the callback method. You can define the data types, right? It is type checking language, but internally TypeScript is going to convert into JavaScript. Okay, now let's come to the Angular. Angular is what? Any guess? Angular is a
Framework.
framework which is used to design front end, right? You may be confused. In jQuery, we are doing the same thing. In JavaScript, we are doing the same thing. Yes or no? Then how Angular is different from JavaScript and jQuery? Hello? jQuery is based on JavaScript. Angular is based on JavaScript. You got my point? Yep. But you need
So
to understand.
basically, it's like JavaScript and jQuery is like core Java, and Angular is like a Spring, a framework, right? It does
You
all
can
front-end design, right?
you can think about it, but we need to understand difference between library and framework, right?
Okay.
So library offers a set of functions which you can utilize in your program. That is called library. But framework offers you the required component through which you can develop your application. Both are different things. So a framework is actually used in broader terminology, right? In framework, many libraries are involved altogether. I hope you understand. So framework
Yeah.
provides you the complete environment where you can develop your application. I hope I'm making myself clear. No, yes.
Clear.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sharing it again. Cool. So Angular,
It's
if you
basically
want
it's
to,
an IDE, right? Again.
Angular is not an IDE. Angular is a framework.
Oh
IDE
yeah,
is different thing.
English.
IDE provides you the kind of environment editor where you can type your program, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
provides code intelligence,
Mhm.
right? If you
Yeah,
type
I was.
something, it will
Yeah.
help you how to type it. I hope library and framework is clear. Framework also has many library altogether, right? But it's provide complete environment where components are there. You can drag and drop and you can develop your application. But library provides certain functions, right? And the framework is based on library. Clear? Next question is if Angular is basically based on JavaScript. So what is the prerequisite for Angular? Any guess? As per this
JS.
question,
JavaScript.
JavaScript. JavaScript is a prerequisite for Angular. Okay, but I'm telling you, in Angular you can use JavaScript, of course, but mainly we prefer TypeScript by default. Why? Because in TypeScript, you will get a lot of great features, right? We'll talk about what those features are just by learning by doing concept.
So is
Make
that
sense?
the sole difference between AngularJS and regular Angular framework?
Actually, AngularJS is the old version of Angular. Before 2009, we were using AngularJS, right? Initial version of Angular was AngularJS. I'm telling you,
AngularJS.
in AngularJS and in Angular 2, you can say, right? There is a lot of difference in the architecture of it. I'm telling you. Angular Angular support component-based programming. You can make a lot of a lot of components, and that component you can use here and there. So we can focus on Angular 11, right? Latest version is I think Angular 12. I hope you understand. If you know Angular 5, Angular 6, 7, that is more than enough. Any question, query, if anybody has?
Now again, I heard when Angular was developed after AngularJS, so it says like it completely develop a different framework. So
Exactly.
even it doesn't match. Like it was like completely different, like something like C++ to Java, something like that.
Exactly,
So
exactly, exactly. We'll talk on that. Actually, in this, you will suppose, you can design component and all. Actually, new architecture of the Angular makes your job easy. You will see soon. Okay. Let's focus on Angular. Then I'll give you some idea about Angular JS, right? But Angular JS, sometime you can see in the old projects. Make sense? Okay.
I can see them, like a lot of companies are still using AngularJS. So.
Of course, they are old, right? And in product, they cannot evolve the technology immediately. It takes some time. Yes, they have product and their product is already stable. Why they are going to change it? No. Are you following me? Because if you change the technology, a lot of bug might be there. May be a lot of bugs, right? Application who will take the guaranteed those changes is not going to impact the original functionality. Yes,
Yeah, yes.
reply to me. Let's talk about why Angular, right? So I can give you the many examples, right? Eh, Why we use framework? Who will tell me? In framework, right? First of all, let me tell you, if you are developing some application, you can follow two approach. First approach is you can develop those features from the scratch, or you can use some ready-made feature which is already well proven in the market. Which approach is right? Writing all the code, all the feature from the scratch, or you can use some ready-made features which is already stable and popular in the market. Answer my question.
Already made code.
Exactly. If it is free of cost available, why we should not use it, right? So I'm telling you, if you use JavaScript, right, you can do anything. But thing is, you have to write a lot of code unnecessarily. So Angular is a framework. It knows whatever feature we need in order to develop web application. Those features are there. Okay. Let's talk some of them. So Angular does not have only those features which I listed over here. It has many more, right? Let's talk this much first. It is a good for single page application. We need to understand the meaning of single page application. Important. Mhm. Hello. Single page application meaning is, before I'm going to talk about our project, right? We have done with banking project. Any guess? Yes, In banking project, our front end was in time leaf, and it was based on Spring MVC. Am I right or not?
Yes, you're right.
Please talk to me. So my question to you is, if somebody would ask that application in the banking project which you have designed, that was single page application or multiple page application? Answer is
Multiple page
multi-page
application.
application. Reason. Because in that application, whenever you want to open the login page, you always make an action and make a request to the server. What server does, there is a controller, right? And eventually it return you the HTML page, and that HTML page comes to the browser and enter it. Clear? Again, you enter username password, right? And click on the login button, and again request goes to server, and server does processing with database and all, and eventually again return some page, right? Either error page if username password is not correct, or some dashboard, depend on the role. If you are user, customer, right? Then customer. If you are admin and employee. Clear? So every time your page is refreshed or not, new page is served to you or not by the server. Any guess? Server every time serves a new page to you. Say yes.
Yes.
But in Angular, what's its beauty is, in Angular, you will make a request only first time to request a view from the server. First time when you in Angular, when if the first page is open, you are making a request. Hey, hey server, can you serve me this index.html file? Then this HTML file will travel from this server where your application is hosted, and sent to the browser, and browser can render it. But in Angular, beauty is when its master page is loaded, its all other templates also get loaded. Meaning is, here we have two buttons. When you click on the A, you want to show all the employee. When you click on the B, you want to show all the customer. Are you with me? So in case of Angular, when you click on A, right, it will not make a request to the server for next HTML and all. No, no, no. It will just make a request to the server for data only. It would say, when you click on the A, it would say, hey, can you give me all the data of customer? When you click on the B, it would say, hey, can you give me all the data for the employee, right? First one is customer, second one is for employee. So tell me, your view is refreshed or not? No at all, because view is already present over here. Are you following me? People, in this, for your HTML content, you are just making request only one time. For other time, your question may be from how new page will come, because when index.html is downloaded, it downloads other template also, but all the templates are present in the client side. But if you want to change the view, simply it will replace the template. That is one of the beauty of the Angularjs. I hope I'm making myself clear.
Yeah.
I need to know who
And you said
understands single
only
page
that
application.
only that data will be transferred, right?
Only
Demand.
first time a view will be served by the server to the client. Next time onwards, only data will be
Data.
served by the server. But in our application, what happening was, in old application,
But doesn't it take so long to load whole like templates, like
no,
if
no,
it's
no,
built that
no,
way?
no, no, no,
Sometimes I find, like very hard to
no.
when I,
Listen to me, please.
yeah,
Actually, in this, there is a technique, right? You can, if you think your application is very heavy, then you can divide your application number of modules. We had already faced this problem. Are you following me?
yeah,
If in application, if you make a one module, only one module, it will take a lot of time to load, because you are instantiating, loading everything in one shot, right? So
yes,
it's benefit. In order to overcome that problem, right, to mitigate that problem, we have concept of modules. So you can divide your project into number of modules. So I'm telling you, if you have 100, 200, 300 HTML page, it will not take much time. Little bit it can take time only first time, but after that it will be super fast. You got my point?
yeah,
Your application might be slower, right? Suppose I need to load login page, and you may be instantiating entire component. That bad practice or not unnecessarily. You should create only
yeah.
those component which is required.
I have seen a lot of like a web application nowadays. It takes so much time to like load the main page and I thought that could be the like the problem
But
because
but
all the
but
templates are like,
yeah, that could be a reason. But it is not going to take more than 20 seconds. I am telling you. If your application is taking more than 20 seconds, it's very slow. It should be rendered within the 10 seconds. Are you following me? So
yeah,
there is we have different technique, right? You can use very heavy server, or you can use content delivery network concept. So many things are together. Many techniques are there. Otherwise, why people are going to use React, Angular, and all? Are you following me? If your
yeah,
application is really very slow, but whatever reason you are saying, that is another valid, I think, point, right? But we have certain technique through which you can overcome it. Otherwise, nobody is going to use it. Am I right?
yeah. That's
Tell.
true. Maybe like the hardware also like
Yeah,
needs to
yeah.
be like updated like with time. Otherwise,
Exactly. And nowadays you seen, right? We have very good platforms, right? Cloud platform where you can have very heavy servers. Are you following me? So
yeah,
your application speed depend on many things altogether. So this is the part of the capacity planning. In industry, there is a job that is called capacity planning, right? They can decide, if you want to support this many users, what should be the server configuration. Make sense?
yes.
Who will tell me what is the meaning of single page application? Answer my question.
Single page application, like downloads all the templates at once, and
Yeah,
the data will be like transferred on demand later.
exactly. Yeah. So for view, you are not going to make multiple requests. View will be served only in one request first time by the server. Thank you. Next feature of the Angular is two-way data binding. My God, this is one of the fantastic feature of it. In order to achieve two-way data binding, you may be writing a lot of code. But in two-way data binding, you will see, right? You may be doing hide, unhide. Remember, disable, enable. Those kind of functionality you can implement, by writing minimal code. That is the cup of tea if you implement in Angular, because of two-way data binding. So I would say two-way data binding is really one of the fantastic feature of the Angular. I will show you with the help of example, right? I will write some code, and that code I can implement in both the way. I can implement by using jQuery, and I can implement by using Angular also. Module support, I told you. Why need to divide your whole project into number of module? Because the module concept makes your application component usable. If you make everything in one module, right, your application will be slower. Understood? So in order to make our project modular, we can divide into number of module. I can tell you, right? In your project, suppose you have 10 functionality. So you can divide into number of 10 modules, right? And whatever module you want to use, you can slice and you can use it. Module you can think as a package. You know package concept in core Java? You may have thousands of classes and you want to organize it so that people can easily use it. So Angular already using a lot of inbuilt module. I can tell you some, right? If you want to deal with form validations, so you can use form module. If you want to implement caching, you can use caching module. If you want to implement dependency injection, for dependency injection, we have dependency module. If you want to make a call to the REST API, we have module like HTTP client, right? Similarly, if you want to do with login with Google and sign up, blah blah blah, module. So for every new feature, we have module. I hope I am making myself clear.
Yes, Mr. Nani.
You have to say yes, yeah. Validation, oh nice. If you are developing some web-based application, validation is important. Yes, you know. Oh man, you know validation, right? Your email
Yes.
should be in certain format. Your name should be of this much length. Your password should be in certain format. Length should be this much, right? A lot of validation you need. So for validation, if you remember, when I was doing in JavaScript and jQuery, we were writing a lot of code or not? Any guess?
Yeah.
But same thing if you want to do in the Angular, you have to write minimal code because already tag and everything is there. So validation is one of the module in Angular. Is it right? Right. Routing. See, in Spring, have you remember the concept of view resolver? Anybody knows view resolver? When you return certain thing from the controller, it is either resolved as a JSP or time live template. You remember resolver? And that resolver we have configured in application or property file. Who is going to tell me what this resolver does? Any guess?
It helps to create the object for the object which can call for the bin page.
Exactly. When you return some string, right? So it is going to be resolved either GSP or time live page or velocity. There is many resolver, right? Sometime your resolver can act as a PDF generator, MS Word doc generator, Excel generator. Clear? Same concept we have routing in the Angular. Routing means when you perform some action where you want to go to the next page, right? Next template, you can define in this routing. The routing is one of the module of Angular. People, template
So
support.
so basically, like if we are making a link on a website, and after clicking that one, like it generates like PDF file. Is this what routing does do?
Routing basically navigate you to from one view to other view. Right now, suppose I'm on login page, right? And when you enter username password is the correct. You want to go to the some landing page, right? So that
Okay.
you can configure in the routing. And same concept in Spring we have by view resolver, right? View resolver. So whatever you do with the view resolver in Spring and Spring Boot project, same thing you can do with routing in the Angular.
Don't we do that in backend? Like we do return an HTML page?
Exactly, same thing. But Angular is for the front end. Remember it. Angular is for front end framework. It is used for user interaction with the application. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Client side caching. Oh, nice. You know caching? Caching can be implemented server side, client side, depend on the requirement. And I'm telling you, caching is one of the very important aspect of any web application. Sometime when you deal with performance, right, and you want to improve it, caching is one of the very good feature to implement. You can implement in server side and you can implement client side also. So client side caching and browser normally for get method it does caching, right? Browser does caching, of course it does by default. But apart from whatever browser offer caching, apart from that, you want to implement your custom caching, that feature is available, right? No need to write your custom code. Already it is inbuilt in Angular. Make sense? Makes sense.
Sir, so
What is
so
caching?
client side caching is like when we do the caching, right? So the browser stores it in the memory, or how does it
It's a,
work?
Exactly.
like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
cache
yeah.
memory, right?
So
Yeah,
is
yeah.
it like
Browser has caching feature,
is it
but
similar
Angular,
to sessions?
it is
So
similar
like
to.
if we uninstall the browser, it'll go back again. It'll be deleted. The cache.
Good question. Good question. Good question. Just a
Like
second.
I mean, where does it
Yeah, yeah,
store
yeah, yeah,
the?
yeah, yeah. Once you uninstall the browser, it will gone, because whatever data structure we use to implement all this thing, we need support of browser. Okay. So when you install browser and started to use browser, it takes a lot of memory. Yes, you know. Sometime you
Yes.
clear the cache of it, right? By going into the setting and all. So that's true. Caching, you understand why we need? Man, if you want to face similar type of data, do you think it's good choice to hit your database again and again? Let me know. No,
No.
because if you interact with database takes time. Basically, in your right now, when you are doing the practical, you are dealing with single user, right? As long as you are dealing with single user, you will never come across the performance. But if you
How
use many,
like doesn't it make like the website vulnerable though?
yeah, of course, if you are caching some data, right? Vulnerability will be the problem, right? So in caching, we only save those data which is not very critical. Clear?
Okay.
If you think your data is very critical and it is sensitive, you are not we should not cache it. Otherwise, vulnerability will be an issue.
Okay. Got it.
Template support. Template support is one of the fantastic feature of it, because of the template means you can make your reusable component, right? Yo, Mister, what I said, reusable component. Because so far we haven't done component programming. Yes, that's why our every page was very clumsy. A lot of code was there, right, on each and every pages, because we were not using concept of template. In template, what is the benefit is you can design once and use anywhere. Are you following me?
Yeah.
So when I show you the use of it, then you can feel it. Using template, you can make the component, and that component you can use here and there. Do you think I discussed JUnit? JUnit is one of the fantastic feature which is used to make your code robust. Remember? Oh, JUnit kind of test cases we can write in Angular also. So far, we haven't talked about writing test cases for front end. You cannot do it. If you design your page in JSP, or if you design your page in TimeLift, do you think you can write test cases for it? Answer is no. Oh man, test case is one of the very, very important thing which you know already. Yes, you know. And whenever I
Yeah.
discussing JUnit, I told you, somebody says I don't know, JUnit. He means he's not developer, because he don't have industry experience. That's why he is talking like this. Am I right or not? Yep.
You're right.
So in Angular, whatever code you write, can you write test cases for it? Of course, man. This is one of the fantastic, I would say, main feature of the Angular is clear. Okay, reach in directive tag. Tag, HTML tag, image tag, blah blah blah. Right. So you know, Angular offers many tag, right, out of the box, through which you can extend the capability of HTML tag. Extend capability means you can enhance the feature of the HTML tag. Are you following me? In HTML, can you make your own tag, or you can only use ready-made tag which is offered by HTML? Any guess?
Only ready-made tags.
But in Angular offers you the capability where you can use a lot of tag offered by the Angular, and you can, on top of it, you can build your own. So in Angular, we'll talk about, we can make three type of tag, right? Component tag, attribute tag, and structural tag. So we'll talk on that. That is called directive tag. Anybody heard about dependency injection in Spring? Of course, Spring is very popular because of dependency injections. In Spring, you may design many modules, and you want those modules should be loosely coupled. You can use dependency injection. I can give you the many example of it. Do you know controller has dependency on service layer has dependency on DAO
By
layer has
auto
dependency
wiring.
on JDBC template.
Yes.
Of course, JDBC template has a dependency on data source, and etc. Nice. Dependency injection is one of the feature of the Spring framework. If you're talking about Spring framework, and if you don't talk about dependency injection, people will kill you, right? Oh, nice. Dependency injection kind of thing we have in Angular also. Answer is
Yes.
yes. Nice. Another thing is when you are dealing with any application, you have to always call REST API. When you are calling REST API, some cases you have to write a lot of code. Nice. AngularJS provides again another module that is called $HTTP, and using this $HTTP module, you can access any kind of REST API easily by writing minimal code, right? That is another beauty of Angular is. Okay, in the green, you can see mocking support. Nice. What is the mocking support? Have you heard about Mockito? Mockito is one of the popular framework where you can mock the data. Am I right? And Mockito we use when mainly when you write test cases, right? So we have similar concept in the Angular also. Let me tell you why we need mocking support. In Angular, when you are developing your client side, some pages you are designing and you need some dummy data and REST API is not ready. Do you understand my question? You are designing front end and front end needs some data, but that data is not ready because REST API is not ready. You tell me how you will test your application, right? You are blocked or not? Any guess?
Yes. So we make dummies.
So
Like
what you can
dummies.
do is Angular offer a module that is called mocking, right? Mocking module through which you can mock the data. And when real data comes, you can replace with the endpoint of it. Okay, MBVM. We'll talk about this is one of the design patterns similar to model view controller. I'll discuss with the help of example what MBVM design pattern is. Make sense? Anybody have any question queries so far?
So what is SPA? It is good for SPA, it says.
Single page application. I talked about in the beginning, right? SPA stand for single page application. You
But
join
it
the
doesn't
session
mean
late.
but it doesn't mean that they're going to be only one page. They're going to be multiple pages. They're going to be downloaded at the same time, right?
Yeah. Of course, multiple pages are there, right?
Yeah.
Multiple templates are there, but its meaning is it is going to request server to only once. Hey
Yeah.
server, give me my view because further I'm not going to request for the views. I'm sorry. That is the meaning of single page application. Clear? Earlier I was thinking single page means only single page is there. No man, I was wrong. Single page it doesn't mean you have single page, right? Single page means you are making a request to the server to serve only once. That's it. Any question query? I'm telling you, my dear crowd, if you ask some questions, definitely you'll get the benefit. If you're not asking any question, you are not going to get the benefit of it. And I'm telling you, if you ask questions, I'll make this happen. Everybody will learn the Angular for sure. And you'd be able to make a couple of programs. But thing is, you have to keep asking questions. Again, before jumping to the next topic, anybody have any question query? It's clear.
So we don't use Timeleaf, we use Angular, right?
Yep. Timeleaf is a small kid, right? I would say in front of Angular. And Timeleaf is server-side programming. And Angular is client-side. Are you following me?
So when you use Angular, we don't need timeleaf and those things at all, or
No. Because, I'm telling you, you are comparing no two different things, right? There's no competition. If you compare Angular and React, it makes sense, right? Angular is elephant, Timeleaf is rat, right? You are comparing rat and elephant. Do you think we can compare it?
no?
No, there's no comparison, right? But I'm telling you, Angular is designed basically for front end only, right? But what about Timeleaf? Timeleaf is also little bit good. It can make your application dynamic, right? But Timeleaf has very limited feature. Now your question is, Nagin, if Angular is there, then why people are using Timeleaf? That's your question? Because we can use only Timeleaf if you don't know Angular. Are you following me or not? I don't know Angular. I cannot use it, right? Otherwise, that's why if you see most of the modern application, they are developed in Timeleaf or Angular. Any guess?
Angular.
Angular. But if you have to design certain pages, answer my question. Your front end is not very heavy, right? You have to just design 5, 10 pages. For those kind of application, Angular is good. No need to waste time. You can use Timeleaf. What do you say?
Could you repeat the question again? I'm kind of lost.
I said in Angular, if you are designing very fancy and faster GUI, right? A lot of pages
Yes.
are there, so it is good to use Angular and React. But if you have to design only couple of pages, right? 3, 4, 5 pages, no need to use it.
Oh, okay.
Got my point?
Yeah.
And another thing is time leaf you always bundle with the your backend, right? But Angular can be run independently. It is not going to be bundled with together, right? So it will make your client side programming as a thin client, right? Your client will be very thin.
But how do we connect, like the component of like this Angular part with the,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
program?
Your question
That's
is, your
programming.
question should be again whatever you have done in the banking project and whatever you have done with time leaf, same thing. Can you show with the help of Angular? Same thing can you design with the Angular? Then only you will see the difference. Yes or no? We'll do that. Whatever you have done in time leaf with banking project, same thing I will make with Angular. Then you will see the difference. Make sense?
Yeah. I
What's your
have a quick
question?
question. Is it like, I have never used Angular, so I'm not, like I haven't
That's
like
why.
even I haven't
That's
checked.
why.
So is it like
That's
a
why I'm teaching you.
drop and drag or something like that?
No, no, no. It is not drag and drop.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen any framework, right? But I would say it would be easier compared to drag and drop. I'm telling you. So you can say this is kind of drag and drop, drag and drop, but here you are, everywhere we are doing coding and all, right? But it will
Yeah.
make your job simple. Hmm? Done. Okay. Next thing we need to understand is if you are developing some application like Hello World kind of in Angular, what is the prerequisite? Can you help me? So let's see what we are going to use in front end. Any guess? We are going to use HTML5. You know HTML5? HTML5 is a web programming language, tags and
It's
everything
the
is there. CSS is
latest version
used
of
to,
it.
yeah, CSS is basically used for beautification purpose. You know CSS, right? Cascade style sheet.
Cascading style sheet. Yeah.
Yeah, there is different way of designing CSS. You can use inline CSS. You can use, embedded CSS. You can use standard CSS. I think we know a little bit. What about Bootstrap? Bootstrap, right? This is ready-made framework of JavaScript and CSS, which is offered by Twitter. Are you following me? Already inbuilt CSS and everything is there. Bootstrap, has many advantages on top of it. If you want to make your application responsive, means your layout of the application should be changed as per the device. If you are accessing from the mobile device, accordingly its layout should be accordingly changed. If you are accessing from the web application, right, its layout should be means from the desktop and all, its layout should be changed accordingly. Clear? JavaScript already we know. Got my point? So if you want to use Angular framework, right? So in order to create Angular framework, what we need, man? Angular library. Say yes.
Yes.
So thing is, if you use Angular library manually, you have to put a lot of effort, right? So we can use some tool who can manage application, library, everything with minimal effort. Which one is the better choice? Using some utility which can make your job easy to develop application, creating component, creating services, designing module, designing directive tag. You tell me what we should use. We should use some tool, right? Have you heard about Maven?
Yes.
What Maven does? Who will tell me?
The structure of the whole application, like folder structures and
Maven
all.
create
The
structure of the
tools.
application. Maven basically download library needed for the project. Whatever library you need, clearly.
It
Similarly,
downloads all the jar, right?
yeah, all the jar, whatever jar you need to make your project, like microservices, Spring Boot, Spring Cloud, right? Everything it downloads for you, right? You have to just define is dependency informed XML file. Same job you can do for Angular and other using npm. Npm is there, Node Package Manager, or you can use yarn, right? Npm or yarn. And if you want to use all this utility, you have to install one of the platform, right? That is called Node. Node is what? Node is a runtime platform for JavaScript. And Node also contains NPM, right? NPM comes with Node. Somebody
Is it
says, I
like
need to use.
IDE?
No, no, no. Node is not IDE. Node is like kind of JRE, Java Runtime Environment. What is JRE? JRE is the Java Runtime Environment, which you need in order to run your Java project. Similarly, if you want to run a JavaScript project, what you need?
So
Node.js.
just like a compiler then.
Just like runtime platform. Runtime
Yeah.
platform means platform which helps your application to run. Which kind of application? Written in
All
JavaScript
right.
and TypeScript. Your answer should be again, don't say TypeScript. TypeScript is JavaScript. Oh, That's correct. I hope this much is clear to you. So if you want to install npm, right, what you need to install? Node. Please go and install Node. Done. So who's going to do it? Because at my machine already I have.
I
If
already
somebody
did
wants to
mine.
install it, that's
The
fine.
npm will be automatically downloaded, right?
I told you already. You go and download the Node. Everybody, just go and download Node. If you have Windows, you can go and download Windows installer. If you are Mac user, you can go and download this one. For your Windows people, you can go to the Windows installer dot Microsoft installer. How many bit of? Normally we have 64 bit. Go and click on it. When you click on it, it is going to be downloaded like this. After that, do not apply your brain. You have to just click, 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 and your node will be installed. Once your node is installed, you can use npm service across whole application. So who's going to do it? Who does not have this node at his machine? Who does not have? Please.
I don't.
What's your name?
Susan.
Shushan. Can you
Susanna.
try? Can you do it for everybody? Please quickly.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So he is going to show you how to create a hello world application in Angular. Please follow the steps. And tomorrow onwards, I'll let you know about its detail and everything. So right now we are going to talk about the installation. So he just click on this. So you are on Mac. Okay, that's great.
Yes, I'm in Mac.
Yeah. Go and click, 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 please. Everybody has to do it. You have to just say click, 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 and thing would be installed. It's done.
Yes.
Okay. Now open a terminal. Everybody can open a terminal. What about Windows people? The people who has
Command
Windows
prompt.
machine. Terminal. And here you have to type npm. npm. Enter. It's working. Rajwal and Ram, everybody. Did you understand? Installation of node is nothing. Just install the installer of it and click, click, click. It will go to the by default the default installation folder. Mr. Shushan, what your name is? Do one thing. If you want to create a project, right, go to the particular directory which you can remember. You have to go to the particular directory. Can you go over there?
Yes.
Here you can make a
So
directory, right? Just make a directory so that you can remember the thing. Just do mkdir.
yeah.
No, not new project. No. You just type Angular 100. Everybody has to use the same name. Okay, Angular 100. Okay, enter. Can you do cd command? Cd change directory? No. You can go from the terminal itself. Yep, enter.
Yeah.
So dear, right now I'm able to install Node.js, and Node.js contains npm, Node Package Manager. What is Node Package Manager? Node Package Manager is the utility on Node platform through which you can manage the library on Node.js. So Mr. Shushan, can you do one thing? I need to work with Angular, right? So you have to install certain
Yes.
library of JavaScript which helps you to develop the Angular based application. What I'm saying? I'm going to install some utility using npm
So
command.
using
Who
npm.
will,
Yeah.
yeah, who can help me to develop Angular based application? So what
Oh,
command is? You have to install one library using npm command. Can you type the command, please?
npm install.
Npm, type it. Npm space install. You can update it, you can install it, install, then -g. -g means you want to install it. No space in between. Then you can use @Angular /CLI, small letter, everything is small letter. This command you can use to install Angular CLI. What is the Angular CLI? It is a tool.
CLI.
It is a utility offer on Node platform using npm to manage your Angular based projects, right? So it is going to install your Angular CLI through which you can manage your project. You can create your project, you can create module, you can create component, you can create service, you can create directory, you can create model, blah, blah, blah. All this you can
So,
do
so
it.
what is the full form of CLI, or is there a full form of CLI?
Console based library. C stand for console.
Okay.
So here whatever you want to do it, you will do from the terminal itself. What about other people? I'm telling you, I'll talk to you daily, guys, and if I feel you are not understanding is, I'll let you go. Remember it, because unnecessarily I don't want to make a lot of crowd over here. So
Sir, it
please,
And
says
following
I
up,
have some
it's,
error.
just a second. You may have permission issue. Wait. Hello. So earlier, what was the issue? Permission issue was there. He was not running with sudo command. This problem comes only for Linux and Macintosh, right? Mac machine. Windows people, don't bother about it. You will not face this problem. How to change the setting, right? You want to do analysis on? No, you did it. Right? So everything is done. Clear? Now, your Angular CLI is installed. That is called ng. What? Ng. Now you have to create a project, right? Using ng command. Ng is installed using this command, right? Mr. Shushan, can you type here ng space new and project name? You can write movie hyphen app. Yeah, movie hyphen UI.
So we
That's
need
fine.
to do all these things using terminal only.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And yeah, would you like to add Angular
So
routing?
routing.
No, yes. What do you want to do? Do it. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Add the support of it. And after it, we have, this variety of the CSS. We'll talk in detail. You just choose default one. CSS I'm going to use. Yeah, CSS has more feature than
So
compared to
how
CSS.
do I
Enter,
just
enter,
enter?
enter, enter. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
And you see, Angular is going to create a default package. Everything it is creating here, and we'll discuss about tomorrow, right?
Sir,
What
can
it
you tell me
means.
what ng is again?
Ng is just a utility offered by Angular to manage Angular project. If you want to manage Angular project, you can use ng command.
Okay, so if you don't mind, like, can you tell me from the beginning, like, ng and what was the other thing? So we
Okay.
had npm. I
So,
understood that, but CLI and like
okay,
just
let
short
me
word.
explain to you. NPM is a node package manager. This is the MBN, right? Maven. So using npm, we are saying I want to install which module? Hyphen G means globally I
So
want to install so that
it's
I
just
can
like
use from
pip in
anywhere.
Python.
You can say like that. PIP
Okay,
in Python. PP
package
in Python.
manager.
Yeah, npm install hyphen G means you want to install globally. Which module, which library of the
CLI.
node at the rate Angular/CLI. So what
Okay.
this CLI is, when you install this module, it will provide you one utility that is called ng. Using that ng command, you can manage Angular project. You can make module, you can make component, you can make service, you can make model, you can make directory, you can whatever you want to do it, right? Everything is there. So when you run this command first time to create the project, it takes some time. Make sense? Anybody have any question, query?
So where is the graphical? Like, do we work on it using the
Oh man,
Node.js or?
it is already in progress, right? Once it is
Okay.
finished, you will see the front end, everything. Okay.
Oh,
Second thing
it'll
is
just pop up.
we have to be little bit patient. Thing will come,
Right.
and after that you will say see daily. Okay. Next thing is if you want to develop some project in Java, you need some IDE, right? So that you can import your project, you can make some changes in the code and all, right? So which IDE we were using in Java, either IntelliJ or Eclipse. So here also, here you can also use any editor of your choice, right? You can use IntelliJ also. Are you following me? You can use it if you feel comfortable. But for this development, I am going to use VS Code. Mr. Whatever your name is, in between your installation or project creation in progress, you can go and download
Okay, I'll do
VS
that.
Code also.
I thought I had it, but
So you just show me the terminal. It is still in progress or it's done?
yeah, it says it needed, because it's Mac. It needed some export tools or something. I don't know. It's downloading. Let me open the terminal.
Class. What we need to do next? He can here use ls command. Can you go and use ls command? ls. See, my project is created, which name is movie UI. You have to go inside. Can you go? Now, in order to run it, right, project is ready, folder structure is ready, and we have hello world program over here. In order to run it, you can use a command, right? That is everything you can do in Angular using ng, right? Ng command. Use ng space serve, serve, enter. When you run it, serve. No, spelling mistake. Ng serve, serve. When you use this command, can you go and run it? When you use this command, your project is front-end project is going to be published on which port number? 4200. If you want, you can give the port of your choice. My crowd, Ram
We
Krishna,
can
what?
we
Just
can give the port in ng serve in that line.
yeah, ng serve and ng space serve. Then you can give the port number like hyphen port and port number you can give. Do you see the
Okay.
URL, man? Open in browser http://localhost 4200. Can you go and type it? When you
Right.
type
Yeah.
it, its landing page will come. Please go and show to everybody. People, can you see this?
Okay.
This is the landing page of your Hello World Angular, and if you can open the source code in any editor, you can change it. Even I can show you. Okay, not a big deal. You see, if you want to make some component, command is given there. Ng generate component xyz. Xyz is the component name, right? So tomorrow I will talk about structure of the Angular project, right? Which folder does what, which file does what in much detail.